so ecstatic. That was amazing. Thank you all. That was wonderful. We have a little Q&A, and I will ask everybody who is on Zoom to put the question in the chat because we want to avoid weird feedback situations with the audio. You see there's a bunch of microphones here, so please ask any questions. I will read a few of the comments to you. Jackie said, just wonderful, thank you. A Mac user said, wonderful. Joyce said, that was beautiful. Helen, which I think is my mom, said, great. Laura said, thunderous applause. Hollis said, exquisite. Dr. Martin said, brilliant, a musical conversation among maestri. And Angel said, fantastic. So we're welcoming questions. We appreciate the compliments. We're welcoming questions. All right, we have a question from Shannon. How long have each of you been playing? I'm going to start this, put my mic here and just give a brief answer.
I mean, playing the piano? Yes. Okay, I'm turning something. And and I started my mom had a music school. So I think 33 years, not years, yes. Thanks, that's my husband.
Well, we've been playing since 8 o'clock. No. How long my career as a pianist? So I started from 4 years old, and that's kind of common in in Asia, and in New Jersey. And but I didn't go to music school. I studied something else in Japan, and then changed my mind, and then so there was a little break.
Hi. I started when I was 3 years old, and I haven't stopped yet without telling you how old I am now. It's been a long time.
I gave my first performance when I was 5, and since I didn't want to practice, it was downhill from there. But I did become a soloist, and in classical though. And 35 years ago, I retired, and I got this nice invitation from the Gershwin Initiative, and it was about the same time that I thought maybe music is too important to me, and I said, send me the music. I don't know if I can play anymore. I said, give me 5 days, and I always loved Gershwin, never had an opportunity to play Gershwin, and this was sort of a signal from heaven, and it was an amazing experience working with these 3 exquisitely talented pianists. It was truly collaborative, and Maestro Amadis was, without being forceful, gently guiding us and encouraging us to express our own thoughts in it, and it was really a fantastic experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have a few more comments and questions. Thank you for these wonderful answers. We have Brilliant Playing by Ruth. That was by Susie. And Ruth said, you brought tears to my eyes. And Laura asks, how did you do that? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Everyone was woven together and individual. And I don't know, do you want to answer it or should I answer it? I don't know. I think it's in a way Sara already answered that question a little bit. It's really collaborative. Everybody, that was the whole idea. Everybody brings their individuality and their own musicality and creativity to the table, and this piece lends itself to it because there's so many themes going on and so many different voices going on, which is why it's so, anybody who's seen the Fantasia version, it kind of makes sense. It's a busy New York scene with many things going on simultaneously. And so those are almost like characters that these wonderful pianists could kind of slip in and bring to life in this performance. This kind of brings to the second question. Who wrote that wonderful arrangement? How do you all work out the timings? Those are two separate questions. Create such original interpretations and have no participating conductor. So those are all great questions. I'm going to start. So the arrangement was really co-written. I kind of guided through it, but it was co-written. Hyuna did a big part of it, but we kept changing and fine-tuning it because we came into the rehearsals with ideas. How is this going to work? And then we tried it and realized, yes, this works. Or no, this doesn't work. And then we kind of found solutions together. I think it helped that I'm not a pianist myself because that gave me kind of an outside perspective. I wasn't thinking about the technique aspect of it at all. I was just thinking about the outside, arranging, from an arrangement and just a musicality perspective. How do we work without the conductor? So I'm just going to say that because that's kind of me. So originally I was asked to be the conductor for this, and I felt that I would be in the way. So I saw my role more as a mediator, a facilitator, and just trying to get all the four pianists to both maintain their individual musicality and individuality, but also to feel each other and work together. And I think that's part of what's so special because pianists don't get to play in sections very much. So, to me, that was really one of the most wonderful things. Yeah, do you want to say something to that, please?
Yeah, this goes back to one of the earlier questions. When the four of us first came together and played, it was clear that we were four different personalities, dramatically different, with different ideas, and I was thinking, gee, how are we ever going to get this together? And with each rehearsal, we sort of became one, and towards the end, we just spoke to each other, and Maestro, even though you were extremely important, I think the chemistry at the end was among all of us, and we just read each other and moved as one. Yes. So it was a very special experience.
Yes.
I'd like to say
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's like our spirits began to know each other. Yeah. And when we played, without even looking at each other many times, we could feel each other. We could actually almost feel when one was about to put their fingers on. We couldn't see each other, but we could feel the moment. And that's what happens when you have individuals who are, I want to say, in tune with each other. And that's what made us able to do what we did. And I want to say I'm so happy to have been a part of this.
Yes. Great. Any other? So I'm just going to add to this as conductor in quotations. I knew my job was done when I started seeing, Dotti and Sara talking and figuring things out, and then you two, So, because there's some parts where you're kind of a duo, and then you're a duo, and then the duo it switches, so it goes back and forth. But that's basically when I knew, okay, this is working. When that moment happened. Let me see if there's more. Here's a question from Louise. She asks, how long did it take to prepare this piece for us? It was an amazing performance. Bravo. I think it's a little bit different. I think if we ask Miss Shirley, she will say it took about, that was a childhood dream of hers, And as young as she is, that's a few years ago, but I think that's exactly what it was. And I think Ms. Shirley from the Skipp Pearson Foundation has been working on it for at least 2 years. Would that be about right? Like actively putting together and contacting you and little by little getting the team together and asking me. and I think the arrangement was finalized. No, finalized it was not. It was never finalized. I forgot who said that, but works of art are never complete. They're only abandoned, right? So this is, we abandoned it today when you played it. It was maybe last year, right? So, and then, we tried different things, and, each arrangement, there's at least 3 or 4 versions that we all have of this arrangement. So it grew as we were working on it. The rehearsals, I think that's the real question. How long did the rehearsals, maybe a few months that we had intermittent rehearsals? Yeah, something like this. 4 months? Yeah, so you spread over a few months. Yeah, so there was, of course, a long time of individual practice, and then, bringing it all together. I don't know if any other answers to that? How long did it take? How long have you guys practicing? Let me see if there are more questions. Okay, beautiful performance. Bravo, says Mary. Wonderful example of creative collaboration. My salute to the entire musical collective and the conceptualist of an 8-hand collaboration. Yes, thank you, Dr. Martin. I think I heard a covert tribute to self-effacing. Okay, I'm not going to read that one. Okay, thank you. Beautifully done, kudos. That's from Barbara. Thank you. So, any other questions about the piece? Any comments that you would like to make? I have one comment at the end. Yes, yes, please.
I would like to thank all Sara and Dotti and Tomoko. I've learned so much from everybody, and something that I couldn't hear or see myself. And so I musically, that encourages me to be more open, always be open, always more, to be ready to be learned. And so I really want to say thank you for all the great pianists. Thank you so much.
Then I'm going to thank everybody. So, Sara, thank you so much for guiding me. You are just concert pianist experience is just amazing experience for me to work with you. And then, Dotti, you are so solid, like a tree trunk. And then, so your rhythmic sense and then just sound, it's just always so much enjoyed. And then she plays flute too. And then Hyuna is like so young and talented, and her rhythmic sense is like just somebody I can trust. And then so I had a great time, and we 4 of us are from a different place, and in a different country actually. And then just really George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue is a perfect piece for us. And then it's really I'm happy, I'm in this project, and I hope everybody can pass this Gershwin's legacy, in this country, Thank you.
So I too will not go without saying thank you. There's a definite reason for this to have happened, for us to have come together. And for as long as I've been playing, I told you I started when I was 3, and you'd think that you reach a certain point in your life, and some people may think like, well, you should know it by now. Right. But we are of different ages, but there's quite a span here. But I have learned from the 3 of you. And there are certain things that, I try to stay open to suggestions. Sometimes it's like, oh, I know what I'm doing, But I try to stay open, and I did through this, and I'd learned something from each, even to listen how each one played, which was different in its own way, and it gives you an idea. It says, you can do that, you can do this, you can, you leave the doors open for you to grow. And I certainly have grown in many, many ways from this experience. And I thank you, Hyuna, and Tomoko, and Sara, and Amadis also. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
And let's not forget George Gershwin. Yeah. This piece I didn't know it before, and I got the music, I don't know, 2 months ago or something like that. And it lends itself to so many different interpretations and timing, and I've always loved the piece, and now I know why.
Yeah.
And it's, he's going to be part of our legacy forever. And I think he should be more of the classical repertoire. So let's not forget who we owe all of this to, and the wonderful heritage of passing music on to our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And we can relate to that more than...
Stop bragging. Yeah, and actually, well, thank you. It's been, I said that in the introduction, how much of a pleasure it was for me and of a blessing to be able to work with all of you and get to know you with this wonderful piece, which is now about 100 years old, this piece, and still is fascinating. And like Sara said, this is a piece that lends itself very much for this. At this point, there is no definitive version, because most people know an arrangement, an orchestration that wasn't actually done by Gershwin as the kind of the most famous version, or the Bernstein version, etc. As Dr. Ryan said in his lecture earlier today, it is precisely the fact that it keeps being rearranged and replayed that keeps this legacy going and keeps enriching this piece and this wonderful piece of music. I wanted to just mention how, I really don't think it has been ever done like this before. This is a first. This is a world premiere. And what I failed to mention in the beginning, to have for such wonderful female pianists doing this today is just been a celebration of diversity and a celebration of this piece. It's just been wonderful. So thank you from that perspective as well. Just want to make sure that we didn't forget anything here. Wonderful. I think we're good. Thank you all so much, and thank you. This was this final moment in the Skipp Pearson's International Jazz Day celebration. It's at the 10-year anniversary, I apologize, of the International Jazz Day. Thank you for the beautiful messages by UNESCO. That kind of, to me, this is the embodiment of that message as well. Thank you all for participating, for being here, and thanks again to Ms. Shirley, the Skipp Pearson Foundation, Shannon, Edwin, and Jason, our wonderful technical video, audio, and support in every way. So please be in touch with the Skipp Pearson Foundation. This will be edited video at some point, and please make sure you get your copy when it's all ready. Thank you all. Thank you.